Hey everyone, it's Holly from Baby Gizmo, and we are at the Britex headquarters in Fort Mill, South Carolina, and we're talking all about Child Passenger Safety Week, which is this week. So I have myself a special guest today. This is Sarah Tilton from Britex, so thanks for joining me.
Well, thanks for joining us, Holly. I am the full-time child passenger safety advocate here at Britex, so I get to travel around and work with parents and families to teach them proper child restraint use. Make sure that they're putting their children in the right car seat, right direction. Yesterday actually started off with National Child Passenger Safety Week. So through Saturday, you will see many events across the country where one or many of 36,000 technicians will be helping parents with their car seat, answering questions. To find an event near you, just go to safekids.org and you should be able to find many, many events around the country.
This is really, really important week because I know that misuse of car seats, it's a really high statistic. So could you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, misuse rate, that's a very good point. About 3 out of every 4 car seats has a misuse, whether the car seat is installed incorrectly or the child is harnessed in the car seat incorrectly. And that's a very staggering number considering that we have so many people out there helping caregivers. But you know, we have a lot more children out there as well.
Right, and awareness, that's the biggest thing, because 75%, that is a big number, but that's what this week is for, to kind of spotlight and, you know, help parents. So do you have any tips that would help parents and caregivers to install and use their car seats correctly every time?
Yes, the first thing we can do is to make sure that we read the labels and the user guide with our car seats. Check out the vehicle manual. So another good thing is to make sure that we read the labels on our car seats, and they will indicate the belt paths for forward facing and rear facing. If it is a convertible, that can be used rear facing and forward facing. You're also going to have some type of recline indicator, so you want to make sure that you always follow that as prescribed by the specific car seat. Those rear-facing babies, we want to make sure that we keep them appropriately reclined to maintain an open airway. Which brings up another great point. Keep those children, they're 5 times safer riding rear-facing through their second year of life. So let's not turn them forward-facing too early.
Right.
Then when we get forward-facing, we want to keep them in that five-point harness as long as possible.
That's a really good tip, and I know we've talked about it on Baby Gizmo quite a bit, is keeping them in 5-point harness. My daughter stayed in 5-point harness until she was 8.
This Britex Boulevard Click Tight has a 65-pound capacity on this harness, forward facing. And then keep them in a belt positioning booster until they fit the vehicle seatbelt appropriately. Even if the law says maybe 8 or 80 pounds that they could go into the vehicle seatbelt, my granddaughter's 7 and she's far from being ready to sit in that vehicle seatbelt.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about the harness and the positioning, because I know that is a big mistake that parents use. It's either too high or too low, depending on rear facing or forward facing.
You always want to make sure when the child is rear facing, the harness is at or slightly below the child's shoulders. When the child's forward facing, you want it at or slightly above. And with this no rethread harness, you don't have to uninstall the seat. And there are many, many seats out there today that have similar features as well.
I also want to bring up one other point that I really think that parents and caregivers should check the car seat. You install it, you have it installed perfectly. That doesn't mean it's going to stay perfectly installed. So you want to check it periodically. I have 3 kids along the back seat, all in car seats, and you just never know when one accidentally, undoes the belt or something gets loose. So you want to make sure that parents get in there and make sure it's still tight, make sure it's still installed correctly.
Certainly. Some people will check it every time they put their child in the seat. Just give it a little shake, make sure it's nice and firm. Check that vehicle buckle to make sure it's still properly secured. Whether it's a sibling sitting next to them, maybe in a belt positioning booster thinking they're getting their own buckle, or it could be as simple as another belted passenger back there, talking, not really paying attention, and they just hit a buckle and, oh, I can't get out, they hit another one. They don't really mean it, but then they don't say anything.
And the parent wouldn't know unless they were
Constantly checking.
Exactly.
Yes.
So those are some great tips for parents, and definitely if they have any trouble installing their car seat, they should go to one of those car seat checks. They should take it to places where there's a CPS tech to help them properly install it. Thank you so much. So for all the parents out there, just make sure that your car seat is installed and that you are using the correct one for your child. There is no car seat that is perfect for every child in every vehicle. So just make sure you're using the right one. Thank you so much, Sarah, for joining me. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you know what? Tell a friend. Tell a friend about the video so that they are installing their car seat properly every time as well. See you later. Bye. Oh, wait, one more thing. I included safekids.org link in the description of the video. That way you can find a technician or a car seat safety event in your area. So just look in the description and that's where it is.